Hello everyone, I'm Rahman, reporting for TVR Parliament. Currently, Indonesia is holding the 6th IPACOD meeting with the theme supporting inclusive economic growth for drug-free ASEAN. And actually the objective of this session is to give chances to the Parliament of IPA member countries to share idea, experience, progress and also collaboration in combating the illicit drugs in the region. So now we have here with me the Honorable Madam Siti Rozaimeriyanty Dato Haji Abdul Rahman, the Secretary General of IPA. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam, for being here. As a Secretary General of IPA, how does the progress each member country on its effort combating illicit drug trafficking, in your opinion?
Okay. So today has been very productive. We actually look at the fact that getting our members of parliaments to actually attend this particular meeting and to share the status, the status of what is the progress and also sharing best practice. But I think on top of that, sebelum we actually started with this sharing session, from the host country of parliaments juga, they actually invited the expertise coming from universities, professor academia, and also from UN themselves, and also, of course, the shared experience coming from Ivan from Slang has been a really good sharing session as coming from a user himself. So that will actually give an eye-opener as a basis of discussion juga, and also sharing, where this afternoon we started our session with representation coming from each ASEAN state member countries. And Alhamdulillah, we actually see some reduction on certain things, but there's also an increase. Now, during the pandemic time, we would actually have thought also the fact that there will be a decrease, but it seems to be like, when things are slowing down, there will always be ways of things being very, it's continuously in progression as well. So there is a plus and minus, but I think there's a lot more that we actually need to do, especially to have ASEAN free from drugs, as that what impian semua this is what we really wanted to, especially for our youth, because we can actually have it. So secara menyeluruh, in general, there is a plus and minus. So, but it's not a stopper. We actually have to do more, especially coming from the member of parliaments, which actually not just about enforcing law, but also to look into those rehabilitation. So areas where those of the users, what can the government do as well to help them go back on the 2 feet? And this is where the economics actually come in, so that there wouldn't be more of these relapse cases, because most of the cases, community difficult to actually accept them juga at the same time. So most of the cases is always about relapse cases. So there's a lot of ways that we can actually do as a handy hand, but again, when it comes to the law and looking into other matters, the members, as in ASEAN, will actually have to work very closely together. And we're talking about the whole of government approach. It's not just about law enforcement, it's everybody as well, and the whole of nation. I think this is the 6 years, of course. It started with just an IPACOM sebelumnya. So it started with just that, yes. And it actually then become more into a council on monitoring this. So it is, ASEAN see it, especially the member of parliament, see it very seriously, because it becomes a council. And this is where the discussion actually comes in, where the national level can also bring it to whatever best practice or legislative that can actually help to improve the situation will be to the national level, because we see things as not just under ASEAN, because it needs to be on the national level. So this discussion today on how they actually share best practice, I think for the past 6 years has improved very well, because they focus on this, but also not just having that presentation, but also getting the expertise on top of the meeting itself. So the semoga like macam every single year, next year, Lao will actually be hosting juga for this particular session, and we hope to actually have a good improvement. I mean, we discussed this with the members of parliaments. There's more that we need to do on the ground. It's not just like having this meeting. So what we're trying to actually do is more beyond that, and have more engagement with the government as well, to actually make sure that all this legislative wise and preventive that we can actually do, looking into areas, not forgetting on the economic side, because no matter what, economics plays a very important role, especially that's reflecting on social.
Thank you, Madam, for your time, and good luck for your next meeting.
Thank you for the support, and we do hope that we have more of this engagement. And I know that this is just part of a once a year, but inshallah we will actually work very closely with other expertise juga and strategic development partners to really emphasize this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Madam. And that's our interview with Honorable Madam Siti Rozaimeriyanty Dato Haji Abdul Rahman, the Secretary General of IPA. And all IPA countries report resolution will be discussed on the IPA on August 2023. And we hope there will be a new resolution for all members to fight against drug abuse and drugs trafficking in the region, so ASEAN drug-free can be achieved in the future. I am Dadi Ramadan and Sanjaya, reporting for TVR Parliament.